Let's go down to South Carolina and see exactly what is happening on the ground. Joining us from South Carolina, we have Ben Howe, who is a blogger and radio host. Ben, we've spoke to you in the past, and we're also talking to Brad Worthen. He's a blogger and former longtime editorial page director of The State, which is the largest newspaper in South Carolina. Brad, this question to you. Now, your voters like to flirt with hardliners. That's what we know about South Carolina. But yet they vote, in the final analysis, they vote for moderates.
Right.
Is that going to happen this time?
Well, you know, they usually do flirt with the hardliners, and they've been doing that all year. You know, starting back in August when Rick Perry first got into the race, you know, he was topping the polls in South Carolina. Then it was Herman Cain, which I guess you can call, I don't know if it's hardliner, it's more like fringe. And then it was Gingrich. Then over the last month or so, they started to do what they usually do, which is go with the establishment guy, the guy whose turn it is. And that's what, up till a week ago, I would have told you was going to happen. Now it looks like not only are they flirting with the hardline candidate, they're going to run off with him.
Now, Ben, look, last time we spoke to you, good buddy, you were talking about voting for, you weren't sure who you were going to vote for. You were undecided. Who have you opted for at this point?
Like many people who were flirting with a Perry campaign for a long time, I'm moving over to Gingrich. I think a lot of people that are the anti-Romney candidate, looking for the anti-Romney candidate, are going to move to Gingrich. Even Santorum's voters, or people who are supporting Santorum at this point, by a margin of 45% of Santorum's supporters, have said that they could still switch and would be willing to switch, and if they did, it would be to Gingrich. So with the week that he's had, I think that I'm not going to be a fringe in that way. I think a lot of people are going to go that way.
Now, how was Gingrich's comments about blacks and food stamps and the open marriage allegations from his ex-wife playing to the South Carolina electorate?
You know, I think that he did very well, actually. He was very angry, or appeared very angry in the debate, but inside, I've got to believe he was thankful that the question was asked, because if there's one thing Gingrich is good at, it is blasting the media. And for a lot of the base, the media is as culpable as Barack Obama. So to blast them on stage as effectively and completely as he did, I think it played very well for him. Within 5 minutes, there were a lot of people that I know feeling like he pretty much won the debate at that moment. It's done very well, and I don't think that the allegations, which, you know, this is not really new. We knew he had this affair. We knew he had left his wife in the 90s. Her allegations about his ego and, you know, this is old news. So I don't think it's going to go very far, and I don't think people care.
Well, let me just break in for just a second, Ben, and ask Brad. Now, as a veteran of these primaries, what should we be watching for on Saturday?
Well, how do you mean? In terms of the result, or
in terms of signs, if you will, in terms of who do you think is going to win this all out?
I think it's going to be Gingrich. You know, it's not just people who supported Rick Perry. We're seeing prominent people who supported Huntsman up to a week ago breaking for Gingrich. It seems to be across the board. I mean, Richard Quinn, who's a very respected political consultant here in South Carolina, he was working for the Huntsman campaign. He's going for Gingrich. Bob McAllister, who is as establishment Republican as you get. He was chief of staff to Carol Campbell back in the late 80s, early 90s. He, at the last minute, is breaking for Gingrich. It's just, you know, one after another person like that, all sorts of business leaders. And, you know, these people have been hanging back because there was just something missing with Romney, and they did not want to settle. They didn't want to say, okay, we give up.
Well, this brings up an important question. Did the endorsements by Governor Nikki Haley of Romney make a difference? And does Sarah Palin's endorsement, if you will, she said if she lived in South Carolina, she would vote for Newt Gingrich. Does that make a difference? Has it helped or hindered or not made much of a difference?
Well, the Haley endorsement has not made a difference except to her. She's had a great time, sort of preening in the national spotlight because she loves that. But, there was a poll a week or so ago, actually less than that. Time's kind of compressed right now. There was a poll a couple of days ago that came out that showed that among the people who had decided they were going with Romney, who knew that she was endorsing him, a larger number of people said that that was actually a negative in their decision-making process than said it was a positive.
Well, Ben, how did that play for you? Did the endorsements make a difference?
Only in that it laid out where people's allegiances were going to be lying in the next few weeks. Everybody makes friends when this is all over, but it's pretty cutthroat in the meantime. I got a chance to talk to Governor Haley on Monday. She's very, very much into the idea of having a businessman taking over the role of the president. That seems to be her number one reason. There are a lot of people who question the decision. I question the decision to endorse when this is such a key state, and third state in the primaries, first in the South. And she's a brand new governor. It just seems like it might have been a good time to step back and let South Carolina decide on their own.
Okay, Ben, thank you very much. And Brad, thank you as well.